For more, I'm joined by aviation expert Steve Preteska, aviation safety expert. Steve, what's your theory?
It's really too early to come up with a specific theory. There's much like what you see coming out of Malaysia now. There's quite a bit of speculation, and any investigator worth his or her salt, the phrase that we use is move quickly, slowly, and begin to gather data, assess the accuracy and reliability of that data, and begin to build theories as you go.
Okay, start building a theory about interference, outside interference in the cockpit, which is looking increasingly likely.
And that's surprising. After 9/11, the operations changed to preclude such interference, and that would be a remarkable deviation from policy and security procedure. So certainly that is a possibility that has to be considered, however unlikely, and it is disturbing.
Okay, so if we work on the basis of what the Malaysian Prime Minister said, the communications addressing and reporting system, ACARS, was disabled just before the aircraft reached the East Coast. That would seem to indicate either the pilot, co-pilot, or somebody in the cockpit deliberately disabled communications.
And that would be a reasonable conclusion, yes.
Okay. It then flew for 7 hours without being spotted. Was that plane invisible for 7 hours?
It's possible.
It is possible.
There's regions of the world that are still, if you will, out of that I'm not sure of. I don't know what radar coverage, how far it extends in that part of the world. I would suspect that there are portions over water where that would be the case.
But that seems incredible. 7 hours. I mean, what ramifications are there for other airlines around the world where a plane goes missing for 7 hours? They don't know. Nobody in the world knows where it is.
And certainly that's a great question to ask. But again, we're very early in the process, and to take a leap of faith and accept that at face value, I think is asking a lot at this point.
The reason I'm pursuing that line is because obviously down here on Earth,
sure,
we are monitored, as you know,
absolutely,
all the time, CCTV everywhere. People know where we are because of our phones, as simple as that.
Yes.
And some mobile phones are said to be still operating this week.
They could be, but the dilemma, they may be receiving signals, but the cell phones, the coverage is not going to extend that far, and therefore provide any possibility of update of location. So that is not something that I think you're going to see a very fruitful avenue of investigation, simply because of the technology and the capability. But it's worth pursuing in terms of radar coverage and what route they took that would avoid detection by such radars.
Could a plane like that land somewhere without an airfield?
Land somewhere without an airfield? Again, that's a possibility. It's very unlikely. The aircraft is not designed to land or to operate out of unimproved airstrips. That would be an extraordinary occurrence and would require either a great deal of luck or a great deal of sophisticated planning.
Why would somebody want to switch off the transponders, and would it take an expert to know how to do that?
It would require somebody who has some familiarity with the fact that the transponder, what the purpose of the transponder is.
Which, if you can tell us what that is.
Certainly. It's actually a very simple device, or as aircraft technology goes. It takes inputs from the aircraft altimeter system and transmits a code which is inputted in the cockpit, assigned by air traffic control, and then transmits that to what's called the secondary surveillance radar to the air traffic control facility handling the aircraft. And there is an on-off switch on the face of the unit. So yes, it is conceivable that somebody with access to that faceplate of the equipment could turn the unit off.
I am told we have pictures now of the co-pilot's home being searched. Mm-hmm. So let's have a look at those. This is the co-pilot's base, and his home is being searched. Why that is, we don't know. It may well be connected,
of course,
with what the Prime Minister said earlier about somebody switching off or disabling the switch before the aircraft reached the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia. So the Malaysian air traffic controllers would have been in charge up to that point. And do they
yes.
switch? Do the pilots say, "Okay, signing off now from Malaysia. I'm now going to tune into Vietnam"?
They do that at the direction of air traffic control. There is a formal process that exists between air traffic control facilities. All these procedures are spelled out, and it would be unusual for the pilot, for the crew, to self-initiate that. That is requires coordination between Malaysian and Vietnamese air traffic control services prior to them doing that. So again, if that's true, that's an interesting data point.
Steve Preteska, it's a riddle, and we'll have you back, I'm sure, very soon. Thank you very much for that.
Happy to help. Look forward to it.
Okay.